Hi students, welcome to NIRS education. So as we already know that the blood is the one of the connective tissue that is called the liquid connective tissue. So it is having the three types of the different cells, that is the RBC, WBC and the platelets. And each cell is going to play its important role in our body. So the RBCs, that is red blood cells, they will supply the oxygen. White blood cells, they will fight against the germ cells, and the platelets, they will help in the blood clotting. So here the question is, how blood groups are inherited from the parents to their offsprings. So already we know that there are four different groups are there in the blood. So those are A, B, AB and O. The blood groups are A, B, AB and O. So this blood group system is controlled by a gene which has the three different forms. The blood group system is controlled by the gene which has the three different forms. So those three different forms of the genes are denoted by the symbol like IA, IB and IO. The blood group system is controlled by a gene which has the three different forms. So that is IA, IB and IO. So the genes IA and IB shows no dominance over each other. If the blood group has IA and IB, so both are dominant at that time. So that is, they are codominants. So the genes IA and IB both are dominant over the gene IO. So if the blood group has the IA and IO gene, so the blood group will be IA. If the blood group has IB and IO, then the blood group will be B group. So here these are going to become the dominant over the IO. So IA and IB both are dominant. They are always dominant. So every blood group has two forms of the genes. So the one gene which is having the two different forms and in each blood group. So suppose the blood group has the IA and IB, that time the blood group is the AB. Suppose the blood group has the IA, IO, then it will have the A blood group. Suppose the blood group has the gene form of IB and IO, then it will be B blood group. And the IO, if both the genes are present, then only the chance of having the O blood group. Here the blood group gene IO is recessive in relation to genes IA and IB. Okay, so if the genotype, if the blood group is having the IA, then the blood group will be A. And if the genotype IO, then also the blood group will be A, because IO is recessive, IA is dominant. Okay, so if the genotype has the IA, then the blood group will be A. If the blood group has IO, then it will have the A blood group. Same IA, A blood group, IO, A blood group. If the genotype has the IB, then the blood group will be B. If the genotype is the IO, then also the blood group will be B. Okay, because the IO is recessive, IB is dominant. If the genotype is IB, then the blood group of the person is AB, because both are dominant. If the genotype is IB, then the blood group will be AB, because both are dominant. If the genotype is IO, then the blood group of the person is O. Okay, if the genotype is IO, then the blood group will be O. Because O is recessive, because both the forms of the genes are same, then it will show its character, that is called the O blood group. Hope it is clear here. So suppose in your question paper the problems will be given like this. A man having blood group A marries a woman having blood group O. The father's blood group will be A and mother's blood group will be O, and they have a child. They will get a child. So what will be the blood group of the child? So father has A blood group, mother has O blood group. So the answer to this question is depend on whether the blood group A of the man has the gene combination IA or IO. Okay. So if the father has IA, then it will be definitely A blood group. If the father has IO gene form, then there will be the chance of having the blood group of the child, either it may be the A, either it may be the O. When the blood group A has the IA, then the genotype of the baby's blood group will be A only, because here one is IA and the other one is IA, so both are dominant. So IA of that of the woman's blood group is IA, so the child will have the blood group A. Okay, suppose when the blood group of A, that is the father's blood group genotype is IO, here the genotype of man's blood group IO, and then woman's blood group is IO. So in this case there is an equal chance of that genotype of child's blood group can be either IO or IO. Means there will be the chance of getting the blood group of the child, it may be A or it may be O. Due to this, there is an equal chance of acquiring blood group A or blood group O. So just as the blood group is inherited by a child from its parents, in the same way the sex of the child is also inherited from the parents. So just as the blood group is inherited by the child from the parents, in the same way the sex of the child is also going to inherited from the parents. Hope it is clear. If you have any doubts, then also you can send the questions to my WhatsApp number. We will try to solve that one. Thank you and have a nice day.